Nicole asks, how do you get yourself out of a rut? Work. Work is the answer to a lot of problems. It cures depression, heartbreak, all those things. When you're in a bad place, I bury myself with work. The progress and the physical activity and the brain distraction, it like breaks me out of anything. I like this question. Bosco wants to know, divide into percentage these factors to reach success. Natural talent, luck, and determination. Natural talent is highly overrated. It's determination, 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 and then like luck and all that other education and all that. It's not even in the same pie chart. Carlos asks, what makes you proud of yourself? Okay, that's a weird way to phrase it, but how I have confidence in who I am and the decisions I make is that I have this moral compass in life, and it is a summation or an amalgam of everything that I believe in, and everything that I think is right and fair and just. And every decision that I make, personal, private, business, every decision that I make is made through the looking glass, through the perspective of my moral compass, of what I believe is right and what I believe is wrong. And if it's wrong, I don't make that decision. I only make decisions that I believe in. In the aggregate of that, you do that over enough time, and it gives you a sense of pride. It gives you a sense of confidence in what you've done in life. Eli wants to know, how has vlogging helped you as a filmmaker? Anyone that works in any creative field knows that when there's no impetus to create, it's very hard to make something. Meaning, like, without a deadline, it's hard to actually finish. Like that awesome platitude that I love to preach, without a goal, you can't score. So how vlogging has helped me as a filmmaker, it's forced me to make a new movie every day. And by doing that, my skills have improved, my editing has improved, my confidence in my editing has improved. Everything's been moved forward because of this vlog, because of this like self-imposed daily deadline. Carlos, what's the meaning of life? Carlos, existentialism is a very dangerous thing. Ignore it, get back to work. That was the first step in a very long process. I can't underscore enough that it's never any one thing that takes you where you want to be. What's it like to be your own boss? You know, the last time I had a boss, I was 21 years old. So I've worked for myself almost my entire adult life. I don't know that I could function in any other environment. I don't do well when I have someone questioning my judgment, and I don't do well when I have to trust the judgment of someone else simply because they're my superior. I don't do well in that environment. What do you enjoy most about work? For me, work is about being productive. It's about doing something. That sense of accomplishment or that sense of productivity is what I enjoy most about work. And to me, like, work and life are one and the same. So all of those values hold true when thinking about life in general. How do you manage being so optimistic about everything? What's the alternative? To be negative or cynical? There's more than enough negativity in this world. And negativity doesn't feel good. Negativity is just easy. So if you put in the time to work hard at being positive and being optimistic, it's a much better life. But it does take more work. Negative people are typically lazy people. Let's chat a little about complainers. Generally, a complainer is a person who doesn't take responsibility for their own action. A complainer is someone who would always talk about why they failed instead of how to succeed. Now, there's one simple reason why it's never ever okay to complain. And that is, there's always someone that has it worse than you do. Let me give that a little context. So when I think about some of the things in my life that I'd want to complain about, some of the really hard things, and then I give them any sort of real world context, they aren't that consequential. Let me get really specific. When I was 16 years old and I had to drop out of high school to get a terrible job to support my new baby, that was pretty rough. You know, that is a big enough excuse for me to justify any actions I take in my life. I know, but I couldn't do this because. To embrace that as an excuse to complain. But the truth is, that's not so bad. Dropping out of high school, like really not having much of a place to live, having no money, having a baby, being on welfare, like all those things really suck. But in the grand scheme of humanity, it's not that bad. Bear with me. I turn on my computer, I go to a news site, and the first story I read is about migrants from Myanmar that are stuck on a boat, stranded, because the Thai government won't let them into port. These are people just like you and me, and they're literally starving to death, and this is right now. I don't mean to be so extreme, but these are the things that I remind myself of anytime I want to complain or bitch about something in my life. You realize that there are people just like you and me who at this very moment are truly facing things we're lucky enough to go our entire lives without ever having to experience. Okay, let me tell one more story to back this up. One more story where like my feelings around complaining and life in general were really set straight. 3 years ago I did this project, led like a very small relief mission to the Philippines after they had been devastated by Typhoon Haiyan. This is some of the video here. That was somebody's home. People didn't have water, people didn't have food. You know, these people had nothing. Their livelihoods, their life, their existence had totally been stripped away from them. And what struck me the most about the entire experience, all of my time there, was not once did anyone complain. But they had lost everything, and they didn't complain. And they all focused on one thing. They focused on change, not complaining. And because of that, I do take it personally when people complain, because the truth is, most of the time, people who complain have nothing to complain about. Who cares if I went to a meeting that doesn't start till tomorrow, and who cares if some guy locked up my bike brake cable? It really doesn't matter. I want to share my thoughts on what pursuing, what chasing a dream really means.
Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
A couple of caveats here. I'm not a cynic. I'm not a negative person, but there are some truths here, some realities that coincide with pursuing a dream that are a lot less glamorous than are typically associated. Number two, all of these ideas, none of them are mine. This is nothing more than an amalgam, a collection, an aggregate of ideas that I've accumulated over life that I subscribe to and believe in. In life, you can get whatever you want, but you can't want whatever you want. That doesn't make any sense. Let me explain. If you truly are one of those people who commits a life to pursuing, to realizing a dream, you have to be a little crazy. John Baltazar says you have to be possessed.
Oh, fucking die!
I agree with that. If you are one of those possessed individuals, if you want it so bad, you will get it. But not all of us, not everyone wants it that bad. So when your kindergarten teacher said to you, Billy, Susie, you can get whatever you want in this world, she wasn't wrong. But those words mean very different things to different people. Here is a guaranteed way for you to realize your every dream. It's super simple. I'm gonna write it down. If you commit your entire life to a dream, you will find it. Because if you commit your everything, your entire being, there's only one of two possible outcomes. Number one, you'll find it. You will succeed. Number two, you'll die trying. And it won't make a difference either way. So that is a guarantee. That is a positively a guaranteed way to get there.
It's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch. Yeah.
Dreams are important. Having goals, ambition, these are the things that drive life. But in my humble opinion, there's only one determination, there's only one factor that makes you a success or does not make you a success. It's a binary. And that is, are you happy? Are you happy with the life that you live? And if you're one of those possessed, crazy individuals that is only happy in the pursuit of that dream, then that is what you do. By the way, if you're one of those people, you don't need to be watching this because you already know all of this. But for everyone else, for all the civilians, for all the people who might not consider themselves possessed, dreams matter. Goals matter. And what they do is they serve as this guiding light that steers you through life. You keep your eyes fixed on that, and life may take you in all of these crazy trajectories, and along the way, you'll find what makes you happy. That pursuit may lead you to a place you could have never imagined, but a place where you're very, very happy.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
This is why there are a lot of really happy people out there who have jobs you've never heard of. It's because no matter what pursuit you choose, happiness, it is happiness that matters.
So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!